It is here. The national title. I'm excited. So, welcome to the show. I know it's been a while since we've done the show. I've been busy lately, and I've just been all over the place. I've felt sick. I've done all that. I've just personal stuff. I've been feeling a little bit sick as well under the weather. Welcome to the show. It's a short one today. We've got we only got one thing to talk about today. Before all that, though, I wanted to say I do know about the transfer portal stuff. I'm going to make a whole separate show throughout the next upcoming months about it, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it and all that. We'll get to all of that. But for right now, we're focused on the national championship because, well, here we are. It's the last game of the season. What a year. I've already made my video about the recap of the season. Go check that out. We are here in beautiful Oklahoma. It is nice here in Broken Arrow. Crisp 36 degrees, but not like miserable, but in winter's January and February is our winter, and then December and November are our summer apparently. But I've got the keys to the game right here. We're going to talk about it. Indiana, Miami, winner takes all. I could not have foreseen these two teams playing in a national championship. No one could have. But the parity of the sport is on a whole new level. Let's talk about it. A lot of people have already gave their predictions and takes on it, but I'm going to do mine. We are sitting as I speak right now. We are 48. Wait, 24. We are 34 hours away from the game. 6:30 on ESPN on Monday. We have 24 hours before Monday. We have 34 hours until kickoff. And I'm excited. So I figured I'd do it now before it's too late. So Indiana going on the road technically to face their on a road to Miami. Basically, Miami's home game. Even though it's a neutral site game, it's technically a home game for them. Yeah. Where did I even begin? Cristobal, Kirk Cinetti. We're gonna see these two great minds go toe to toe. I hope it is a good game, but as you'll see by my prediction right here on these papers, I have a feeling we could be seeing another splattering unfold. We'll see. So, let's go over this, pull out this little clip. Let's get to it. Indiana versus Miami. The spread started out at -7.5 in not Indiana. And Indiana was like, no, moved it up. And here we are sitting at -8.5. Miami going off plus 85.5 with the over. Miami's money line weighing at 260. Who put that there? 260. Indiana -325. We're going to see it. The battle of the best. Battle of the veterans. One of them is battle of the years because it's a Heisman versus a veteran. So why are we not focused, please? Can we get to focus? No focus. I'll have my OU hat. I'm not going to go get it, so this will suffice. I don't have my OU hat. This will suffice for right now. I guess even my OU hat doesn't work. I mean, my knockoff OU hat doesn't work. Okay, now we can see. Okay, so Carson Beck, Fernando Mendoza, Heisman, veteran, toe-to-toe on the biggest stage of the world. So let's go ahead and talk about it. There's really not a lot of keys to this game. Miami's front seven, Indiana's front seven go probably hand in hand. Veteran, you have two guys who can do anything. They can run, they can throw. One of them's a computer. Kirk, you have two head coaches who have learned how to play the system correctly and how to win One of them is a machine and the other is human. And I just look at this as man versus machine. Humans versus technology. Kirksonetti is a machine, an emotionless AI human being. And Mario Cristobal is a passionate underdog human. Basically, it's the Rocky versus Ivan Drago situation. Where if you don't know what that is where one team is basically a juggernaut and looks to be unkillable, and then possibly it just takes the underdog, in this case Rocky Balboa, to land that finishing blow. I kind of feel like where we're at. So whatever it is, we'll see. Keys to the game. The reason this is gonna be a short show. We only have one thing to talk about. We got a couple more papers. Keys to the game. Indiana. They must be aggressive. Miami is not going to be scared of you. They are not going to fear you. They are going to expect you. So you got to play with an imposing aggressiveness to show that they should be scared of you. Setting the tempo early like you did against Oregon was the reason Oregon collapsed so fast. Do it against Miami and you get the same result. And for Miami, get to Mendoza. There's been no year. The Mendoza has not been sacked all year except for the Ohio State game, which is whatever. So Fernando Mendoza knows what to do. He's a computer in a body. He's a computer possessing a body. So you get past the system, you get to Mendoza, that can disrupt his plays down. So the key for Miami, Robinson and Mark Rubin, I believe, and Robinson must get to the quarterback with only 4. Because if you do it with 7, Indiana will cook you out on a run. Indiana, don't make mistakes. I'm kind of ringing a dead bell at this point, broken bell at this point, but they don't make mistakes. Miami, same thing with you. Be careful with mistakes. Carson Beck has been prone to throw interceptions. You saw it against SMU. You saw it against Louisville. You saw it against Ole Miss a couple, maybe 1 or 2 times. He did it. But you got to capitalize. And if Indiana does make mistakes, you got to capitalize. So be careful with interceptions. And then don't make a mistake. If you make mistakes like you did against Ole Miss, drops, interceptions, do all that against Indiana, you're going to have a rough day, okay? So there's really nothing more to say. It's just who's going to flinch. It's going to come down to who will flinch the first. Whoever flinches first will win this game. And one way or another, we could be seeing an ass whipping or we could be seeing a close championship. Predictions. So, like I said, there's a lot of people talking about it that if you're going with the money line, go with Miami because you're getting the biggest for your buck. I don't know. I mean, look at Oregon. Look at what Oregon was. Look what happened with Oregon. Let's go back to week 8? I think week 7. Let's go back to that Indiana and Penn State game. And we'll also look at So I've got 2 examples here going back on these 2 sheets of papers here. I have them right here. Oh wait, here I have it right here. Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's this one of these predictions I have right here. So back to this. So the key. So going back to the Indiana and Penn State game. Listen to this. Indiana had to come from behind to win, and Fernando Mendoza made his Heisman throw in that game. And you're telling me that they blew out Oregon like that? Yeah, I think they learned how to clear for mistakes. Anyways, Ohio State was the only team besides Penn State to give them a run for their money. And we're not even going to mention the fact of someone putting up 70 up against a Power 4 team. Your description is right. That one. Ohio State, 13-10. A score all too familiar in a Big Ten conversation. 13-10. It was the only time Indiana actually had to win in a close fashion. What does that mean? Why am I putting these games up? Well, may I remind you, Miami lost to 2 games they should have won. But why? Because they made mistakes. They made bad decisions. Indiana rebounded and still won, even when they made slight mistakes. However, remember what I said in the when Oklahoma was still running. If you want to, defense wins championships. Okay, that's proven. The team who has been battle tested the most and has been proven to win still is going to win. Oklahoma has been battle tested the entire time, yet they won their games. But they have the most battle tested squad. Indiana, although had a weak schedule at first, later did we know that there would be some blood spilled across the college football greenery. Indiana had Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and what if I told you Iowa? They all played those games close. Oregon was the only exception, which that's funny that it's still an exception. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is Indiana has already been battle tested 3 times. Iowa, Ohio State, and Penn State. And Penn State has the same talent that Miami has the same philosophy with talent. Their NFL caliber core defense and all that. And look what they did to Indiana. They made them work for it. However, Indiana still won because Fernando Mendoza was not sacked that entire game. That's why I said go back to the keys to the game. For Miami, there's only one major thing to do. Get to Mendoza, and that's how you win. Otherwise, you're kind of shooting at nothing. All right, so there's your little prediction. But this kind of gives you an idea of who I'm picking in the national championship. Prediction time. Let's go through it. I went through this multiple times. I looked through it multiple times over. I just kept thinking, and I thought about it, and kept thinking about it. And I made my decision. I'm going to do this in a way I've not done it on the show before. I'm going to list 10 things, 10 check boxes, 10 boxes. Let me put this away. Okay. Who do I trust to be battle tested more? Indiana. Who do I trust more? Indiana. Who has the better defense? Miami. Who has the better offense? Indiana. Who do I trust more to not make mistakes? Indiana. Which head coach do I trust to do the adjust during halftime? Indiana. Who's the more experienced quarterback? Who do I trust more? Carson Beck. Who do I trust more in to not make mistakes as a quarterback? Fernando Mendoza. And final 2, who do I trust to control time of possession? Miami. Who do I gain trust in for competing for not wasting energy? Indiana. Indiana is my pick. And you know what? Prove me if I'm going to take this here. I will take this I'm going with my gut, and I've been thinking about it all day. Everyone's been telling me this will be a close game. But I'm going to trust that Indiana knows what they need to do and just think that Miami is one of those Oregon-type teams and do something horrendous on the field. Give me Indiana 48 and Miami 20. A splattering in the college football in Miami.